The minds and hearts of the awakening public are expanding as rapidly as your progression into the realms of full consciousness. If we could only detail our amazement as we watch you continue to traverse a path that tests your faith and resolve enormously, then we'd be able to properly express our appreciation for the efforts of you dear souls on the ground. We note the progress being made along your paths, and we note that the collective energies are rising in every moment in favor of a full entrance into an understanding of the light on the part of your collective. Every person around you is awakening in their own unique ways, and this is a message we'll happily continue to repeat throughout the progression of the most intense aspects of your collective ascension process. While we don't encourage focusing oneself on manifestations or brazen validations of the realms of spirit, we should note that there are many brazen energetic initiation points still to be reached by your collective. Phenomena related to your entrance into the higher dimensions is long due to occur in different intervals on your earth, and this process won't involve danger, cataclysm or anything else that could drop the hearts of the awakening public. This is because the cataclysm surrounding your brazen initiation into the realms of spirit that's been predicted in times past is no longer appropriate for your collective to experience. The collective energies are, again, lightening in every moment, and the presence of the awakening lightworkers is helping to quell the chaotic energetics that could have otherwise caused the destruction previously predicted. We ask for you to worry not and to enjoy your earthly experience, for no relocation of one's home will be necessary because of a brazen chaotic event, and rather, the bold and the brazen that'll be experienced will be much more in the way of leaving you in awe and amazement. You're meant to steadily gain greater glimpses into the realms beyond your conscious understanding, and the awakening lightworker public has been able to do this with grace and ease as the lessons you've experienced along your paths helped you to unlock your deepened and greater perceptions. Remaining positive or neutral, everything around many of you is lightening up as you learn to refine and lighten your personal vibrations, and the importance of remaining in as neutral or positive of a state as possible in the face of the trials and difficulty accompanying the earth couldn't be expressed enough. This is because every one of you is holding energy that's very important to be held and expressed in your collective consciousness. Beyond the necessary lower energy involved with surfacing and learning to love the shadow self, allowing one's vibration to dip in the name of the earthly drama or situation occurring at the time brings your perception of the pure energy within, as well as your divinity, away from you in favor of having you feed into energy and emotion that's being fed by millions of others already. The energy you hold within is everlasting and can only be temporarily removed from oneself or dissipated away. However, the degree to which you feed into this energy rather than allowing yourselves to become conduits for the old earthly energy that's kept your present paradigm ongoing for generations, determines your ability to find greater perceptions of it, and as you find greater recognitions and understandings of it, so does your ability to use it grow. You'll eventually find yourselves able to master bringing through and expressing this energy, and you'll find yourselves able to use it for positive cleansing and mitigating purposes. You'll use the energy you'll come to find within to cleanse the pollution manifested and fed on your earth in a plethora of different ways, and many of you will choose to utilize the technology we'll help you to understand and possess, for the purpose of mitigating and cleansing pollution. As has been discussed before, you'll funnel aspects of your consciousness into the technology you'll be given, which has been known about on your world and suppressed for nearly a century. The technology many of you may choose to utilize will be sentient aspects of your consciousness, and will be endowed with your perceptions. Using advanced technology to cleanse pollution as such, this technology will maintain an active and organic link to your reservoir of energy, and you'll be able to funnel such energy through your technology and quite literally aim it at your skies for the purpose of cleansing pollution and negatively oriented energy. Those who don't wish to utilize technology that's well advanced by your current standards, and there will be some in the beginning who don't, will be able to funnel their energy through directly without the middleman that the technology provides. Some would think the technology unnecessary because of one's ability to funnel energy through directly for cleansing and healing purposes, and we should point out with love that everything our technology can do is completely doable within. You're able to perform everything our technology does. It's simply that we choose to utilize it for leisurely purposes. We understand as well that a middleman in the form of our technology could help humanity in the beginning of the building of your new world, and we along with plenty of others will wholeheartedly encourage understanding one's inner power and utilizing such power for the good of your Earth. As your Earth becomes the brimming ascended planet she's always been meant to become, you'll find your society transitioning into a flourishing planetary society. Every soul will enjoy the deserved freedoms and unalienable rights you've been endowed with as God's sparks of source, and corruption and tyranny will no longer fog the collective consciousness or enslave the people. As your collective is awakening to the actions of your cabals increasingly, the methods they've used to keep you in states of mental and spiritual bondage will be uncovered and understood by all. The cabals certainly have a grasp on the realms of spirit, and have attempted to see to it that no others on your world outside of their circles and families are able to understand the realms of spirit in the manners they have. Manifesting positive outcomes, they haven't realized that even their grasp on the spiritual realms is quite distorted in its own right, as they've taken genuine teachings and distorted them into narrow beliefs that serve them and the energetic controllers whose bidding they've been doing. As long as the human and light worker emotion can remain in a certain predetermined state of bondage, the souls who've attempted to keep you mentally and spiritually chained will continue to benefit. This is one reason we ask for you, dear lightworkers, to find equilibrium and wholeness with yourselves and your lives in every moment you can, and again, the vibration you give out is very important. The vibration given out by your collective as a whole largely determines the events that'll manifest on the world stage, and this is why each of you can become instrumental in manifesting outcomes on your planet that work in favor of the awakening of the earthly populace. You can help the whistleblowers being prosecuted by revenge and suppression-seeking governments. You can put an end to and expose what's been called financial tyranny. The actions of the cabals in attempting to control and enslave the populace have been picked up on by billions of souls throughout your earthly history, and even many of them know that their time of influence on the earth has all but run out. Even still, they persevere in negative and service to self-oriented goals and agendas, the overwhelming majority of which don't come about, in hopes that a loophole of sorts would manifest and they'd find themselves free of the worries and troubles they've manifested. The cabals persevere in the face of their end, knowing that their time has all but run out. The cabals continue to attempt to control the people and manifest situations that had put them ahead of the rest of the populace. Knowing that the underground bunkers they would have safely retreated to after realizing their plans of a fully dominated Earth have been dismantled by the light forces, a mission we Pleiadians were involved in, they still think themselves somehow able to enact the most malevolent goals they and those before them had planned. They've thought themselves able to continue to fool the public in claiming the recent massive round of embassy closings has come about as a result of terrorist activities, but the real reasons for such closings are much more complex than could be expressed through this channel, and do indeed relate to the future humanity's moving into. Beyond continuing to use the media to attempt to fool the public and attempting to continue in their agendas, the cabals have been neutralized to the greatest extent and no longer pose the massive threat to the collective consciousness they once did. This is, again, because the planetary vibrations are lightening in every moment as more souls open up to the realms of spirit and find themselves aware of the activities of the cabals and of everything that's been hidden from them. While so much has been suppressed in the way of our existence and the true nature of politics and business on your world, the biggest secrets that have been hidden from you lie in the avenue of discovering spirituality and acting upon one's personal potential, power and ability. The cabals haven't wanted humanity to understand that you each individually possess great power to bring forth continual revolutions of peace and love, and while the hippie movement of your 1960s is recognized in your day and age as the most famous of such revolutions, they've been started all throughout your history. Atlantean revolutionary groups. There was a campaign ongoing in Atlantis to stop the warfare that had begun to take place with the colony of Lemuria, and this movement was much like a spiritually advanced version of your hippie movement, because advanced intellectual and spiritual understandings were prevalent in Atlantis. There were plenty of individuals who understood the need to cease warfare in such times, and many such individuals who were behind that initial attempted revolution and re-establishing of peace have since been instrumental in attempting to spark revolutions bent on bringing forth peace and love all throughout your history. Souls who've gained access to their inner realms and found themselves enlightened and spiritually aware as a result have taken the inspiration and energy they've gained and worked to help awaken your populace for centuries of your time. This is the nature of service to others, which becomes an ultimate goal and desire once one reaches a certain state of consciousness. Even many awakening lightworkers are understanding already the need and desire to serve others and help them find the blissful states of consciousness many of you have been able to find, and we encourage your active development of your ability to send love and give blessings to every person, situation and place on your earth. Every facet of consciousness deserves the infinite love and light the Creator has to give, and each of you can become the strongest and purest conduits for an energy so strong and pure that it could perhaps make your head spin when re-accessing your greater perception of it. Instated distraction in the media, as the cabals don't want for the collective to understand your supreme and ordained ability as co-creators to unite and enact the most positive and real change on your world. Many measures have been taken to keep you unaware and distracted. Your media has been used quite fruitfully to keep your collective unaware and feeding into a physical culture-based paradigm, and this paradigm keeps you ensnared within the confines of the illusion as various things designed to dismantle your power are played upon. Notice, next time you turn on your television, how much instated separation and hatred is prevalent in what you choose to watch. Notice the subliminal nature of the advertisements you're given. Notice the distraction that runs rampant in your news organizations and in your media as a whole. Notice the active fixation on lower inclined aspects of existence in much of your news, and notice as well when news stories are spun in favor of certain viewpoints or ideals. It's important, especially when noticing such things, to unplug from your televisions and much of your culture as it's established and fed. It's important to make active attempts to connect with your inner spiritual realms, as the vibration you'll be able to access, when doing so, will be unprecedented. You'll find yourselves perceiving entirely new realms of consciousness the likes of which you haven't seen in a very long time, and the greater metaphysical perception you'll garner will spread to those around you and become very apparent in your personal lives. There are plenty of individuals on your world who no longer see themselves as separate from the realms of full consciousness. Such souls recognize the difference in vibration from where they currently sit and the pure realms they make active efforts to perceive of, but they've reached a level of wholeness that sees them very easily able to maintain the purest connection to the higher dimensions. As a result, they find themselves and their hearts expanding more rapidly than they ever have, and the brimming love and joy they're able to experience and express sees them nearly constantly exist on a cloud of pure love. Awakening with assistance, these are the souls who'll lead humanity onward, and when we say such things, we don't mean that these souls will be solely responsible for awakening your collective. Rather, your collective will come to awaken as each individual becomes aware of the realms of spirit and the distorted nature of your current reality in their own ways, and those who've been activated ahead of time will be able to help the awakening humanity reach full consciousness with grace and ease. There could indeed be some struggle and difficulty along the way, but overall, we're confident in humanity's ability to diminish prejudice and separation and come together despite the perceived differences that have been played upon in your reality. We could proclaim forever that you are one entity of pure consciousness who has been divided into various personalities and an aspect of that ultimate one soul, but you'll come to discover this truth fruitfully as your perceptions of it expand. As we make our final impressions for this communication, we salute you for your efforts up to this point as we have so many times in the past. We salute the active absorption of the continually pure energy you're being given, and we encourage you to deepen your metaphysical interest as much as you wish. You've entered a new era filled with spiritual exploration and understanding, and there's no better time than this infinite and everlasting moment of now to fully act upon your potential. Thank you to Sanjaska and the Pleiadian High Council.